Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I am back and I'm not alone. I'm with Andy today to do the review of a movie that we watch. That is a horror movie that is called Together, guys. It's a 2025 film. It's very nice. And just to start it off, it's about the couple. The guy, his name was Tim, and the lady's name was Millie. This couple find themselves deciding that it's a good idea to move closer to work for Millie because she found a new job of obviously being a teacher. And as for Tim, he was just a supporting boyfriend who was busy with music career. So yes, guys, getting into the movie, obviously, since I said that it's a horror, it didn't start off by scary stuff a lot. We just saw two dogs looking at each other, and that was it. I mean, on horror movies, we usually see the start of the movie being all the killings or whatever that will be happening that is so terrifying, and then the movie can then slow down. On this one, we just saw two dogs looking at each other and we were like, what the hell is happening? But then things that happen in this movie are very, very, very terrifying, guys. So yes, they moving into this house. Just for a bit of background, I won't be talking much about what was happening. They move into this house, and then after moving into this house, the house is in the middle of almost like in the bushes where you can really do some jogging, you can really do some walking in the bush, so you can really see that it's a nice place that anybody can love to stay in such a place. But then, as they were taking a walk in the bush, they end up getting lost a bit, and rain catch up with them, and they end up falling into a cave, and that's where they drink some water that was in some sort of a place where there was it was almost like a small well. So that's where the team decided to drink that water. And as for Millie, he gave her the water that they had left in the juice bottle. So yes, that's when the whole terrifying stuff started happening. I think I'll just give it to Andy just to take it further on what has happened.
Yes, that's when the horrible stuff started happening, whereby when they woke up, they found themselves attached, skin to skin, on their legs. You could tell that they are attached to each other, and when they both tried to pull away, they were feeling pain, and they could tell that they are attached to each other. But then they didn't think much of it. They kind of thought that they spend the nights in this hole, and probably just things have been happening, because they spend the nights in this dark hole. By the miracle of God, they managed to get out of the hole, and they walked back home. Millie, the girl, went to work, so things went as normal. But Tom, who was unemployed and still struggling as an artist, was spending some time on the internet and the laptop. That's when he found that there is a missing couple that have been missing. There is a flyer. Whilst he's still amazed, they had a door, a ring, a knock on the door, whereby it was their neighbor who happens to work with Millie. And the neighbor seems very much flirtatious, flirting with Millie. And this, of course, did not sit with Tom very, very well. Tom was more like, why are you like flirting with this guy? Why are you flirting with him back? And Millie was like, no, he's just my colleague. There is really nothing much going on. I don't know if Lychee has something to say about that.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to ask you, Andy, that how would you feel if someone Just started with your partner after just we just arrive into this place, and then you just start so almost like flirting with the partner. I mean, that was very weird for me. I don't know how you felt about that. I mean, in real world, you start doing that, you can really get a punch from other households.
Yeah, it was very much weird. I also did not like that part. I felt like he's just too forward. And yeah, in real world, you wouldn't just get in and start flirting with someone's wife or even someone's girlfriend. It's unheard of. It's definitely unheard of.
Yes, guys. The guy's name, obviously, this cast of this movie was not that much. But those three people are the ones that play the most roles into this film. So his name was Jimmy. He was the neighbor who was very sort of curious, sort of, and I'm glad that Tim saw through him that this guy is for no good. We must really try to stay away from him. And obviously, he ended up being a colleague also to Millie, whom was a teacher, as I already said. But then we get into the interesting stuff. While Tim was at home, he started having this thing like he's feeling like he needs to be closer to Millie, and it's like something keeps dragging him, which is obviously the big thing that was happening into this movie. It's like they were being dragged to each other. I don't know, Andy. I felt like it was almost like unreal being dragged to the person simply because you drink that water. Obviously, there were some rituals that was performed into that place. Apparently, there was a mine that blew up, and then the whole thing went underground. And it seems like the church was underground. So it seems like it was a church that was practicing this thing just to try to get the couples to be together, which brings me to what I want to really, really talk about. That are the churches really practicing sort of rituals to make people to be like together for life, even if they don't get attached? But are they really practicing such things?
Yeah, I think the movie was not based on true story. It was just fiction. It's what a writer it was maybe made up. Yeah, it was fiction. It's definitely not a true story. So definitely, I doubt if church practices as such cult, and it's unheard of as well. So yes, Tim started feeling the edge of being close to Millie, and even when Millie has driven him to some sort of a gig. He had a gig in town because they did move away, far away from town. So he had a gig, but whilst he was on his way to his gig, he just felt the edge that he needs to be close to Millie. Funny enough, Millie was also feeling it, but it was not as demanding as a team's way of feeling it that they need to be close together. So they went to the bathroom. Mind you, this is the kids' bathroom, and they did the deeds there. Whilst they did the deeds, it's like they needed it. Okay, it's needed to happen for both of them, but they were left to stuck to one another. And this was like, for me, it was so hard to watch because I could just imagine the pain the girl that she was feeling. I don't know if Lichi wants to say something.
I have not really much to add when it comes to that scene. Obviously, I think the writer was trying to just show us the extent of how much they really needed each other, and how much this thing is starting to gravitate towards something that is unstoppable. We saw some scenes that obviously you can't watch with children, obviously, in that part. So just be alert that you shouldn't watch this movie with children. Apart from that, we move on to the part where they were now trying to figure out what is happening, because both of them were really aware of what was happening. But then this thing of being attached, I mean, it started being really, really crazy when we start seeing hands joining, and you could see from the pictures that like hands are joining, getting into each other to show that like they are really starting to be attached with each other, and they had to really break themselves off with a hacksaw, and it was starting to really becoming an intense, which brings me to the to sum up this movie to say that honestly speaking, I don't know how many people can really want to use, whether it's herbs, whether it's whatever it is, just to be attached to another person, or rather love another person way more, or whatever it is. Because I believe that that church, the first reason that they did that, I think they just wanted something to say that if you get married, because it was based on marriage basically, to say that if you allow yourself and become married, then you will join and become one. I think it came from the scripture. So, Andy, as much as you say that it's just fiction, I think that, yes, they did exaggerate because it's horror, but I think it did come from scripture of saying that you will be joined and you will become one. I think in the movie they just did it literally. How did you feel about that?
Oh yeah, now that you mentioned it, I think they honestly went with a literal meaning of joining people and making them to become one. So yeah, I do feel like they stole it from the scripture, and people just interpret the Bible differently. So maybe their interpretation means that you just literally become one, which was shocking. I don't know if you want to talk about the end of the movie, but
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it was very much shocking when they just literally just decided to give in and become one.
Yes, yes, yes. Obviously, I do want to indeed talk about the ending of the movie, because I think that that's the biggest highlight for me. When I wanted to start to do this video, I think we were supposed to talk about that. The main point is to talk about the ending of this movie. That like they end up joining to become one. I think. Do you think that like at the end we will get another together too, while we are seeing those two individual becoming one person?
Yes, honestly, I feel like we do need part two, especially because I was left with so many answers, or rather questions that were not answered. Especially when the parents came to visit and the girl came to the door. I'm like, okay, what happened to the guy? Is he living within the girl? Like, I was just
And
left
the
with so
parents
many
were not
questions.
shocked.
Yes, and the parents were not shocked as well. It's like they could just see their daughter, nothing else. So I don't know. I know I do need part two.
Yeah, for me, I think that like I'm fine with part one, to be honest. If there is ought to be part two, I think the question that I have is that Jimmy, what happened to Jimmy? I mean, he's the one who orchestrated. He was pushing it. He was watching even the videos of these things. He also have joined with someone. Apparently, it seems like Jimmy was also having a spouse, whom I think it was a guy. And it was never really, really clarified that whom Jimmy was dating. We just saw only the picture. But Jimmy was so fascinated and so happy that it happened to him. So maybe the only question that was not answered is that if we were to go to the second one, is the new person, or the combine of the couple, are they gonna be fighting Jimmy? What will be happening? That is the only question that I have on my mind. Apart from that, there was nothing that was so sinister that I can say that that will want to know the answers. Except also there was also the couple that didn't manage to join well. The one that was in the cave.
Yes, yes, yes. I wanted to know why those couple couldn't join well. Because they end up looking like this film a bit. They had two heads, two, like, oh, it was just disgusting. I Were they fighting the process? Is it why maybe they end up not being able to join well? And also, yeah, I just have so many questions. Honestly, I just hopefully part two, if there will be part two of this movie, will answer some of those questions. But yeah, the movie was nice. I will just go ahead and rate it. Then Lichi will go ahead and give it his own rating. Because it was a horror, I'll be a bit biased and give it an 8. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. So yeah, for me it was nice.
Yes, the movie was really nice. Even me, even though I don't really a nice fanatic when it comes to horror movies, but I will definitely even rate it a bit higher. I think that it does deserve an 8.5 or a 9. I think it was really well planned. I mean, Andy, we were really crying for a movie that can show that a person have really thought about what he's writing, have really done his research, and make sure that he writes something way too different from normal horror movies. A group of young friends going to stay in a house that is abandoned. Someone is looking for answers. How many times have we watched such movies? We have watched so many of those. So this one was very, very different, to be honest. A couple staying together and having to fight all these things, trying to get answers. But nevertheless, the movie was really nice, guys. If you want to check it out, go ahead and watch the movie. I'm sure you'll definitely enjoy it. We'll meet on the next one, guys. Cheers.